I'm a little stressed, I'm a little scared, I'm nervous, I'm all things, but overall I'm very, very excited.
I just wish we kept the same energy for when we got back from London. I mean, apologies for the voiceover, this is definitely happening today, but why am I covering her so much lately? I don't know what it is. Went to go check my Instagram. Honestly, I have a bee in my bonnet. There is a definite wasp in my bed about influencers who get slightly snarky comments anonymously, you would say, over on Instagram, because, you know, obviously they can like respond to your question, but we don't know who it is. The influencer knows, but we don't know. And without the influencer flagging up who it is, basically, you know, shaming whoever, we would never even know. So the most notorious culprit I can think of who does this is Love Meg. She has done it so many times in the past. She'll get a slightly snarky message and she'll then decide to expose and slam and draw up these people, send her minions to go and attack, like all of that kind of stuff, yeah? Well, something quite similar happened over on KYRA's Instagram, and I'm just like, can we all just move past doing this, please? Because a really small side of me does kind of think of this as doxing, because, and like, everyone bear with me for a minute, even though it's a public page, no one would have known any of this would have occurred because it's between the person and the person who responded to the story or responded to the message. It's like releasing private like text messages, do you know what I mean? But it's on a much grander scale because obviously one person is an influencer with like, how many people does she have? Like so many followers on Instagram, and the other person has not even a fraction of that. So there's all of a sudden a huge power imbalance. Anyway, I'm just gonna show the stories, but as soon as I saw it I was like, nah, like we can't be doing this, because it really does irk me. Like, it doesn't matter how crappy some of these messages can be, which by the way, this message did not warrant it. If it was like a death threat or it was something extremely hurtful, extremely derogatory, horrible comments, then maybe, just maybe, I could see past it. But if it's just a snarky, small side comment, why are you doing this? Because it just makes you look extremely petty. If you're an influencer, I hate to break it to you, but the downside of doing it is the fact that you're going to have to deal with a variety of different, you know, opinions, customer feedback, etc, etc. I mean, she had a really nice time from what I gathered off in London. She came back home, she was sat watching Harry Potter, and she then got this reply to, I can't remember what it was, like a question or a story or something. So KYRA posted a story basically saying kids are home, we're having a sick day, basically, they're not in school, okay? And then someone then fairly stupidly basically said, you know, bro, the kids are never at school. Obviously she was talking in third person. Did this person even mean to send that? Did she think it was just like a comment section? What plane was she on? I have no idea. But anyway, that then happened, and KYRA decided to take this and make it into a whole story. She said, bro, you do realise you're messaging me, right? What's with the third person type crap? I've obviously taken out the name and like the icon and stuff of the person to like protect their privacy, obviously. But right away, like, KYRA has her backup, and it goes on. It happens. It goes even further than this. The kids have missed maybe 5 days under my watch. The days they have missed have mostly been for doctor, sick, dentist. Also, go get coffee and put this much judgment into improving yourself. You might have not wasted your time messaging me this and actually done something productive. I do think it's a bit of a far-fetched, it's a great assumption to assume this person even likes drinking coffee. Not everyone likes drinking coffee. It's pretty presumptuous. But do you see what I mean? That was full-fledged. That went from 0 to 100. Is there like a backstory between these two we don't know about? Once again, like, I don't know anything about this other person. I just know based on what she was sharing, and the person was just giving like thoughts and opinions. If KYRA puts her kids' private lives out there among many other mummy vloggers, not all of them do this, but I do know KYRA does. She's done it for a very, very long time, puts out so much information. The fact that someone would even feel the need to say that screams that you probably overshare too much about your children. And I don't want this to all just be like, oh, child exploitation, you're sharing too much of your kids, because it's not just about that. But I'm just saying that if you didn't do that to begin with, then this person may not even have had an opinion. But it was the fact that she went so quick, and this is not the very first time in a very short space of time that she started going off to someone who commented something. If I can find the clip, I'll share it back again. It was a couple of videos ago. I did one, I told you, I've been doing a lot of videos on her recently. A couple of videos ago on KYRA, she was basically battling it out, saying that someone was critiquing her for shouting at her kids for not tying their shoelaces properly. And she was justifying it for about 8 stories. It just went on and on and on and on. And then in the same breath, she'll then do a Q&A where she says, oh no, you know, I don't listen to the comments. I just shut it off. Like, she says that. She does listen to the comments. She must do, and they must get underneath her skin. But you can't take all the perks, the being able to travel to London, being able to travel about, get brand sponsorships, have all of this money. You know, she was talking about buying a nice house and then buying another house. People who are on medium to low income cannot do that. The average person cannot do that. It's not an impossibility, but you are in a very, very, very fortunate position right now in 2023 to be doing any of this, especially if it's all just pulled together. You've got a nice life as an influencer, but unfortunately you're going to have to deal with the drawbacks and the setbacks of having people that don't agree with what you're doing. And because it was about her children, which, may I add, she shares way too much about, she then had her mum clause out. And it's like, well, if you didn't put this much information out at the very beginning, people wouldn't be assuming this kind of things. Does everyone get where I'm coming from? Also, to make matters worse, she then basically flagged up the exact profile. So she actually showed this anonymous person who's not an influencer. Nothing like that. There's no blue tick. I don't think she even has that many followers. I think she has like over 1,000 or something. Anyway, nothing in comparison to KYRA, right? Then decided to actually not only flag up the comment again, but also flag up the girl's Instagram thing, and then commented on her age. And it's like, look, right, like, what, how, you've really just keep some of that good energy that you had when you were out and about and you were traveling around. Keep some of that good energy. Just forget about it. If you get comments like that, just ignore it. It doesn't matter. Just ignore. Like, you don't need to. And I do think of that. Obviously, it's not doxing like serious, but you're still sharing private messages. And there's a huge power imbalance, because obviously you've now shown your huge following where you're going to have a mad army full of people who are going to get their claws out on this person. So to me, it's a huge power imbalance. Doesn't matter if it's doxing or not. I know obviously everyone's got their own little terms and it's not technically doxing, but you're still creating a huge power imbalance, and that person may then be attacked because of it. But these influencers don't think of it like that. I think they think because they get so much hate on a regular basis and they must get all these comments, that they then want to direct some of the hate to someone else, and like, well, you should see how you feel when that happens to you. But it's not the same thing, because these people didn't ask for all of that. Like, and the thing is that this wasn't even like a hate-fueled comment. This was the most nothing comment. Just leave it and move on. These are the kind of thoughts that you're going to have like school mums thinking when you're picking up your kids or whatever, or just people that you know. People think about these kind of things all the time, like, oh, she doesn't send her kids that much. Like, it's just the kind of things that you think and don't really say. It wasn't a horrible, disgusting, degrading comment that would warrant that amount of, you know, hellfire. And that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say on this, because I'm well aware that I could just go round and round in circles. But like I say, Love Meg's done it so many times. Aaron Williams has done it quite a few times. Other people as well that I just can't even remember off the top of my head. But people do it. And every single time I come across it, I always call it out, because I'm like, you can't use your platform. Use your platform for good. Don't use it for bad. And I feel like some of these influencers just forget about it. But anyway, I digress.
Except that's not a toilet. I don't really know what that is. Maybe you guys can let me know. I think it's like meant to maybe be like a bidet, but where I live, people just buy bidets and put them like on their toilets. I hope I'm saying that right. So I don't really know what it is. I thought it was kind of interesting.
Anyway, my lovelies, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch up with you guys in the next video.